Welcome to the Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire. Waiver Wire.
What up? Welcome to the Waiver Wire, where fantasy players become fantasy legends.
What's up, y'all?
The champ is here. The champion of fantasy football. See? If you listen to Dannon and not me, you will become a fantasy champion.
And get an insane amount of luck.
Yeah, that's true. You did. Zay fucking Jones. I'll never
Zay
forgive
Jones,
you for
what about
Zay Jones. I'll
What about
never
the week
forgive
before
you.
that one?
You put Zay Jones in at the very last second, and I even saw it and went, yeah, good luck with Zay Jones. I've got Devontae Adams. What could go wrong? Fuck
That's
outta
why
here.
he did it, because you thought that.
Yeah, I know. Fantasy football, man. I hate it and I love it.
Yeah.
But you did win.
I
And
won.
what
It
a
was-
crazy run, you know?
And I even
like-
only got 3 points from Josh Allen in that first week.
yeah.
But I split the money with him.
Really? Why?
I was just being nice. My
Yeah.
frame of mind at the time. I had a lead, but we had discussed it before they made any kind of decisions or whatnot. I don't know. I basically just gave Brandon.
Because of the DeMar Hamlin thing.
Right.
Oh, I see.
Because we didn't know
but
what
you
was
were gonna
going
win.
on.
You were going to win, and you won.
Probably. I didn't really split it with him. I told him, because it was only $400.
Yeah.
It was a 50 point
Right.
or $50 league, right? So I said, well, we'll each take 150, and then we'll play the last week for the 100, extra 100, and so whatever.
Whatever. I mean, to me, and you're nice about the DeMar Hamlin thing. To me, with the DeMar Hamlin thing, to me that's I'm the kind of commissioner that was like, that's what happened. The game is over.
Well,
They're not going to play it again.
said.
The points that was scored are
Yeah.
the points that were scored. Like
That's what I said. It was like it would be the same thing as if he fucking hurt himself,
Right.
and had to go.
Exactly. You don't
there's
know
no
what was going to
difference.
happen in the rest of that game.
Yeah.
So it's funny, too, because, and it just brings up how nice you are and this guy, Mason, who runs that random league of guys that I joined and I won with Josh Allen. This year, in that game, the championship game, it was championship week, Mason was up I think 26 or 27 points, but the other guy had Josh Allen. So he had nobody else going, and they had Josh Allen going that night, and then game is over. And so Mason was nice too. He split the money with him, but I was like, bro, if that was me, this is a
what it
wrap.
is, right?
It's over. I'm sorry, you lost.
It's like both teams all got injured at the
Yeah.
same time. Like,
You
what
don't
the fuck?
know-
We've never seen it before.
Right.
But I think everybody was so wrapped up in the emotion
Yeah,
of the
and I
whole
mean,
thing,
it's
and that's
the right-
probably why.
It's
we were
the
feeling
nice thing to do.
Yeah.
It's the nice thing to do.
After something like that happens, to not be nice. I mean, to kind of be
Well,
like,
see, but
nah.
my whole mindset on the DeMar Hamlin thing was, do you not want to avenge your brother? I mean, come on, are we not fight? They just killed your guy. You're not going to go out there and fight for him? Jesus!
And it just shows you the level of mindset of the young people
me being
today.
a crazy person, though. But I mean,
I'm with you though. I'll bet you 20 years ago or 30 years ago they would have kept playing that game.
Oh, they absolutely keep playing that game. First of all,
Shit, DeMar Hamlin might have kept playing that game.
did you hear the first things that came
Yeah,
out of his
did we
mouth?
win?
Did we win?
Yeah.
He thought
he's like, what the fuck?
I don't care what's happened to me, but I know those motherfuckers kept playing that game,
Yeah,
right? Like
y'all
we
kept
don't
playing,
stop
right?
playing NFL games.
Yeah.
But it was dramatic. Have we even seen each other since that?
No.
It's
Well,
been
we
a
haven't
long
done a
time.
show since
been
that.
a long time. Been a long time.
I had a little hiatus, and I'll probably take another one. But
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. The NFL season has officially. We are right now in the Pro Bowl week. The week off between now and February 12th,
still
which will be
playing
the
the Pro
Super Bowl.
Bowl?
They're doing like a flag football with Peyton Manning and Eli Manning being the coaches, and they're going to have a bunch of other. They're going to play dodgeball. They're going to play it's
at least they've turned it into what it always was.
right.
Just
Exactly.
a fucking joke.
I'm happy that they're not just like putting pads on and pretending like they're going to go play football because
Right,
that's not what
'cause
they've
they're
been
not,
doing. But
yeah. Well, you don't even want them to.
we're going to get into some of it, but I didn't do a show last week, so I wanted to go back over some of those games. But before we get to that, oh man, and Dannon just told me I can't talk about it, but no spoilers. I'm just going to say Last of Us on HBO is fan-fucking-tastic. Go check it out. As far as zombie apocalypse goes, it's probably best I've seen. It's a really good. I mean, also you got to think like of the like, think about what it is. It's a mushroom that grows inside of them. That's like a terrible fungus. That's
so this
taking them
mushroom
over.
actually exists,
Yeah.
right? And it takes over insects,
Yeah.
right? And then like I think it's ants, right?
Uh-huh.
And so then they get the ants. They can control the
They can
ant.
walk
And it looks
the
like
ants
it's
around,
alive.
looks like it's alive,
Eats and
yeah.
shit, right?
Now it doesn't spread itself and is as aggressive as the show is maybe making it out to be, and it definitely doesn't attach itself to the earth. And then that's the worst part about this to me, is that they grow these little mushroom things into the ground, and if you step on one of their little tracks somewhere else, it will alert the other zombies that are like
So then they know where you're at.
thousands of years. They know where you're at all the time.
So then the zombies can turn you. Oh, I'll have to watch it. Sorry, I don't want to get too far into
yes,
it.
I mean yeah, I don't want to give it away, but there is, you see, it's not a bite. It's not them biting each other.
It's just the fungus going
Right.
from one to the other.
Now the bite helps with that because you're breaking the skin, so they can get under.
But that is how it transfers.
Right,
Is by it. You're essentially the fungus is going into the other person's bloodstream by biting.
Absolute worst case scenario as far as zombies go. I mean, just they can run super fast. They now can be alerted when you step in a house where they've grown. They like cover houses in because
So it's not the slow.
No, it's like a very scary version.
What was that one with Brad Pitt where those fuckers were like swarming?
World War Z. Yeah, that one's bad too. But this is a really scary. They have to be silent. That's one of the their eyes get taken over first, so they can't see very well. But they have incredible. The mushroom can hear like the tiniest little sound, so they have to kind of move in silence, and it's really good, really good. Very much enjoying it. This last episode was amazing. I won't give anything away. I'll wait till you watch it, but this episode 3 I really liked, and it actually had I think only one zombie in the end. No, there was 2. There's 2 zombies in the entire episode, and it was cool. It was like a little mini love story in the middle of it, but it's been really good. And I want to recommend Inside Man on Netflix. Inside Man, you think, oh, the Denzel Washington movie where he robs the bank. Yes, that is also called Inside Man. But this is a show, a 4-episode show that they put on Netflix, and it is about there's a vicar, like a priest over in, I don't know, somewhere in the UK. I don't want to say it's like London. It's like outside of London. And vicars, I guess, can have wives and kids and live a normal life. They're like our Methodist preachers, you know, like
yeah.
they
wear the collar and
they
shit.
wear the collar, but they're a normal person.
And they can drink.
Right.
And, yeah.
And so he has like a little, he has a guy, like a squire, that's learning from him. He has like an apprentice who's like in the ministry with him. And the kid comes in at the very beginning. He's a young man, but he comes in, he's probably in his 20s, and he has a flash drive. And he says, hey, can you hold on to this for me? My mom's going to come search me. I can't have this on me. So the vicar assumes, okay, this is porn. It's normal porn. And he takes it and he puts it in his pocket, and the mom comes, looks for it, whatever. But then he goes back home where his son and his kid are, his son and his wife are, and the son has a math tutor, a teacher that's there at the house and is kind of helping the kid with math. So he asks the kid to help him with something on the computer, and he leaves the flash drive. He takes it out of his pocket and he leaves the flash drive right there. So somehow the flash drive gets plugged in the computer, and the math tutor says, can I use your computer to send you this next worksheet that we're going to do? And she opens up the flash drive and sees child porn on it. So now this preacher has a flash drive that has child porn on it. She doesn't know where this flash drives come from. So the vicar, the guy, just kind of making a joke, goes, he thinks it's porn. So he says, oh yeah, it's the kids, you know, kids being kids. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. But it's child pornography. So she freaks out, is like, okay, I have to go tell, I have to go tell the cops. The vicar now panics, attacks her, throws her down in the basement and locks her up, and is contemplating killing her. and it's a 4-episode thing of what do we do? How do I? Like, there's no way now that she leaves
Breaking
this.
Bad.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, just the whole dynamic of will he kill her or will he not kill her? It's very suspenseful. It ends really, really well. David Tennant is amazing. He's the guy that plays the vicar, and he's been in a lot of shit. So, Inside Man, go check it out. But we're gonna get into some football.
First down.
So we didn't talk about it because I wasn't here because I took a week off. But Dannon is here, and I want to talk about all the football, all the crazy shit that happened. So a week ago, not this last Sunday, but Sunday before that. Actually, this was on the Saturday before that. Jacksonville went to Kansas City, and it was actually a pretty good game. If you remember, Mahomes got injured pretty early in that game, and I'll say that you know, spoiler alert from this weekend too. Mahomes has impressed the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I've always been like, you know, Mahomes is obviously he's one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the league. But what he's shown me in all that, dude, like the sideline footage that they have of them trying to get him to sit down, like the medical doctors trying to get him to just not even go in the back and get an x-ray, like, please come sit down so we can tape your ankle up. And he's like, no, you're not taking me out of this game. I'm going. No, absolutely. He's looking Andy Reid in the face, and he's like, fuck no. You're out of your mind. I'm not coming out of this game. That's what you want. You don't want.
He doesn't have the butthole pucker.
No, he does not have the butthole pucker. He's like, I want to win. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
I don't care if that's some Brett Favre shit.
Yeah.
I love it. That is, you want to get me on your train? That is exactly how to do it. I have kind of, I mean, even in this Super Bowl, I want to say the Eagles are the best team because all around they probably are a better team.
Yeah.
But you got Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
And you got
And you got
Travis
that belief.
Kelce.
Yep.
And they got a heartbeat. And this guy's hopping around on one leg. And he's getting it done. So this game was no different. It was very impressive to me. The Jaguars are, I put Jaguars almost there. They are. I think next year they are going to be a real opponent to deal with if they can build up their defense a little bit more and find a couple other weapons for. If they have a good draft, let's just say that if the Jags have a really good draft and they find a couple of things that can help them.
Yeah, I think they need an O-line.
Yeah, they need an O-line.
You gotta protect him. But I'll tell you this much: I think that Trevor Lawrence is who the NFL wants to see succeed in his long hair and shit.
Oh yeah, he looks like sunshine.
Yeah, bro.
Off Remember the Titans, but
yeah. So yeah, I think that next year he'll be a top. He's definitely a top 10 quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even a top five next year.
Think top 5 maybe. Maybe Deshaun Watson sneaks back up in there, but Patrick Mahomes. I put Mahomes injured for last week because
does this hurt Mahomes for next year? Then, like, you think I don't remember how long does it take?
Well, it's a high ankle sprain, and he should be.
But
okay.
like, can you make it worse? You must not be able to make it too much worse, though.
I mean, it could if
separate more.
Everything's kind of loose, and you know, like when you twist an ankle, if you then were to go play football on that and somebody were, let's say, hit that ankle, it's probably it's much easier for it to get very
But
injured.
I'm saying like recover. So low ankle sprain, if I remember it correctly, is it's the separation of these bones. So that ligament that it holds them together is like separated or stretched, and sometimes can then tear away if you keep playing on it. So it's like if you plant your foot, it's like your lower leg is splitting open. It's not like twisting your ankle.
Huh. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, either way,
that's why. So usually, like, I think a high ankle sprain is like 6 weeks usually. 8 weeks maybe at the tops.
At the tops.
So I'm just saying, they must at least have. There must not be that much of a risk for him to like injure it. Like,
listen, whether we think it's a risk or not, Mahomes don't give a fuck. As we have seen, he is like, nope. Yeah. Shoot me up.
Well, there's no fucking way he's not playing.
No
in the Super
way.
Bowl. I mean, he's fucking played in the AFC Championship.
No way he's not playing. No way. And I think, well, we'll get to it. But yeah, this Jacksonville Kansas City game. Kansas City.
I didn't watch any of this.
They got up early, and then Jacksonville kind of did their thing where they kind of came storming back, but they just held them off at the very end. And Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, they're almost there. They are almost there. Next year, fantasy football, give me all them Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll take Travis Etienne. I'll take Evan Ingram. I'll take Christian Kirk. Zay Jones, Trevor Lawrence,
Calvin Ridley.
I want Travis Etienne real bad. I wanted him, and I think I was right on him. He is an NFL running back that catches the ball too. So, but yeah,
And Calvin Ridley.
oh man, you reminded me of that the other day, and that's a huge pickup. Now,
If he comes back.
he's got to shake some dust off. I'm assuming he hasn't played in over a year.
But
So.
he's still pretty young.
Yeah, he's still great and a great wide receiver. So that's a huge pickup for them. But yeah, that was the first game, and they were an 8.5-point favorite. I said that Kansas City would win handedly, and I think if Mahomes had been 100%, I think they would have. But they won by 7. They won 20-27, and Jacksonville went home.
Yeah.
Next.
Second down.
Yeah, the Eagles look pretty good. If there's anything that we can take away from this season is that the Eagles are here to stay. I think this Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts combo is nasty. It almost reminds me of like Jim Harbaugh and Colin Kaepernick, where Colin Kaepernick under Jim Harbaugh, it was good. He figured out this is what he's good at. I'm going to just play to his strengths. Nick Sirianni's doing the same thing. Jalen Hurts has a good arm, but where he's most dangerous is in the play action, and where you don't know is he going to run it or not. But they do it in such a smart way because they actually have a really great offensive line to where if they need to run the ball with it happened a lot in this Giants game.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts didn't have
Is he
a
your
monster
number one
game.
quarterback next year
Number one
in fantasy?
No,
No?
it's still Mahomes by a mile.
Yeah?
I did a couple of shows ago. I did where I put the total points for what they scored for the year. Mahomes scored like 514. And Josh Allen was number 2 with I think it was like 460 something. So Mahomes was 50 points above Josh Allen.
I was right then. That's who I wanted. My goal, the reason why I took Josh Allen in that first round is my goal was to get Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, dominant.
And then Keat took fucking Mahomes.
Dominant. Number 3 was Joe Burrow, and number 4 was actually Jalen Hurts because he missed that time.
So you had 3 and 4, huh?
Yeah. And
But see, if Jalen Hurts would have played then,
I think he would have been
'cause he missed 2 games, right?
No, he missed 3. He missed
did
3
he?
games, yeah. And I think in those 3 games, he might have even could have catapulted himself past Josh Allen, but I don't think he would have.
What
caught
about
Patrick
Justin
Mahomes.
Fields? Because
It's
the
a big
way
one.
he was fucking scoring.
Yeah, I think he was like 7 on the list. It
And
was
he didn't
you know
play,
who was
like-
5? Geno fucking Smith.
No shit.
Geno fucking Smith. Could have never seen that coming. I should go back and pull that list up, but
That's crazy.
Justin Herbert was 10. I mean, just shit you wouldn't. Daniel Jones was above Justin Herbert, like shit you would not have expected.
Yeah,
but,
that's weird.
And it also showed me too that there was Jalen Hurts was I think somewhere in the 400s, like low 400s, and then Geno Smith was like mid 300s. So there was another drop
there's a
again,
big drop
from the
4
top
to
4.
5.
And I don't know if that really changes next year. I don't know how much better Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields are going to get, but I think the top 4 are going to still be the top 4.
Yeah.
I think those 4 guys are, and it changes my opinion on doing the 2 quarterback thing. I thought there were 20 good quarterbacks. When you asked, could we do a 10-man 10-man 2 quarterback league, I said, yeah, of course. There's 20 good quarterbacks. You can find 20 good quarterbacks. There's 32 teams. There's probably, there's a few teams that know you don't want that guy, but I'd start, I was throwing things out there like I'd take Matt Ryan or, some of these guys. Now, I don't think so.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, now I don't think so. Actually, Kirk was pretty high. Kirk was 6, I think. Kirk Cousins was 6. But I'm saying in a 2 quarterback league, you look at the way my guy, the Daltonius, you look at the way that it played out for him. Now, let's say he has something better than, let's say he somehow wound up with Jalen Hurts as his 1 quarterback, but then he doesn't do another one, and he starts really good players. Because, he went on a run.
No, he
where
did.
His team was really hot.
Yeah. So it kind of does change. I don't think that I would take a quarterback as high but I want to try to at least get 2 in the top 10.
Right. And
And to do that, you're gonna have to pull that trigger.
You're gonna have to do it early.
And honestly, I think you'd want one of those top 4.
I agree. I think even in a non 2 quarterback, just a 1 quarterback league, I think we're getting dangerously. If you take Patrick Mahomes, let's say you're in a 12-man league and you're the 11th pick, and you take Patrick Mahomes. I don't think you're crazy. Before, maybe it would be like, oh my God, you took your quarterback in the first round. But now it's like,
I haven't seen this since like Aaron Rodgers went on that 2 or 3 year run where he was just fucking crushing
incredible.
it.
And it was like, well, we got to, he's so much better. And that's the Travis Kelce thing. Oh, Travis Kelce.
Yeah, but he faded towards the end.
He scored 105 more points
than
TJ Hawkinson, the number 2. That's unreal. 100? That's incredible. It's not even close.
Yeah, that gap is huge.
The gap is so huge. There's no gap that's like it. There's
so then
no
gap you've talked about it before.
I'm number 1?
Yeah, do you take Kelce number 1?
Absolutely.
Because it just gives you, then you don't even have to fucking worry about it.
I don't even have to draft a second one. I'll find one in the waiver wire later when I have to worry about the one fucking week that he's not going to play. Because also, the dude stays healthy.
Yeah.
He really doesn't miss a lot of weeks. I'm absolutely taking Travis Kelce number 1 if I'm number 1. Shit. If I'm number 4 and the other people don't believe the way that I do and he falls to me there, I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, I got Travis Kelce. I don't think he'll be there later than 4. I can't imagine. I think Austin Eckler, I think Justin Jefferson, and I think Christian McCaffrey are all names that are going to come up as that high. I'll take them number 1,
depending on where Saquon goes.
Oh well, yeah, but I wouldn't take him over Austin Eckler, and I wouldn't take him over Christian McCaffrey.
But know they're going to have him above Travis Kelce.
Well,
everybody values the fucking running backs way more.
But I have to think that at some point. Other people, here's how I know that it's true, because when I talk about this at work in the league that I'm in with the 12 people, 6 of them are like, yeah, you're right.
So what about what about Cooper Kupp and what about Jamar Chase and where do you put those? I mean,
it's tough with Cooper Kupp,
right? Because he got hurt.
Well, and not only that, the Rams looked bad.
Yeah, but
they looked like this.
They're gonna be bad for a while.
That's the thing. They said fuck them picks so they could win. They sold out. So now it's like, I don't know. I don't know about Cooper Kupp.
I'm surprised McVay came back. I figured he'd
Jamar Chase had a monster end of the season. Yeah. He was on
and he
fire.
Also got hurt.
He got hurt, but he did get hurt. I mean, injuries is almost impossible. The Turkish guy Honor said that next year I will only draft healthy people. And I was like, that is first of all, it doesn't exist in the NFL. Name me the guy.
You just never know.
Name me the guy who doesn't get injured.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. They all get injured. Patrick Mahomes is injured right now. I mean, they all get hurt. It's a very violent game. They're all going to have time where they miss, and you can't plan for that. It was maybe a mistake on my part, big time. It was on Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
I was so afraid of the injury that I said, "Oh, there's no way," and he became the number 3. He went Austin Eckler, Justin Jefferson, and Christian McCaffrey. Those are the top 3, and then Tyreek Hill. So it's like,
I didn't think about him.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill's
problem with Tyreek is Tua, bro. I mean,
and I thought,
how long until he just says I gotta stop?
Exactly,
because
he's gonna get hurt again. He's too small.
He's still in concussion protocol.
This is, by the way, what's the Georgia Stetson?
Bennett.
That's 5'10".
Yeah,
and
he's gonna be
160 pounds.
Somebody's gonna fucking take him, and they're gonna be
you can't
unless he's Drew Brees.
But even Drew Brees, Drew Brees had a thickness about him. Drew Brees was probably 200 pounds of muscle, and or close to 200 pounds. This Stetson Bennett guy's 165 pounds. You're gonna get killed, bro. Do you see these guys? Did you see Chris Jones on Sunday? Chris Jones is 6'6", 315 pounds. He's two of you. He'll kill you. You can't. Like, I'm sorry. There's no way that Stetson Bennett guy survives. Okay. We have been on second down where we have been talking about the New York Giants going to Philadelphia, but this all came from how great the Eagles are. And,
well, I started asking questions about quarterbacks. Right.
And we'll get to that. You know, the Eagles, I think this is their Super Bowl to lose. I think that they're a favorite already. Yeah. They're a 2-point favorite. I think that's fair. The only reason I think they're not a bigger favorite is because that man Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. I think if it was anybody else, I think if it was the Bengals, I think the Eagles would have been a heavier favorite because I think they don't respect. Vegas is respecting Patrick Mahomes was saying it's just 2 points. But the Philadelphia Eagles have looked like the most complete team all year. Yep. They can run the ball. They have a deep defense, probably the best secondary in the league with Darius Slay, and they're just nasty. I mean, look what they did to the Giants in this game. They steamrolled them. It wasn't even close. This was not even a game. This was just a blowout from beginning to end. Yeah. I thought the number was a little high. I was riding off those Giants beating the Vikings, and so I took the Giants in that just to cover the 7.5. I thought it'd be a close game, but it was not. And so I got it wrong. But I didn't think the Giants were going to win the game. I thought the Eagles would win, but I thought it'd be close. But I put Giants for real ? Are the Giants for real? You know, Daniel Jones showed me something that he is maybe an NFL quarterback, and Brian Daboll got him to play a lot better this year. And think about this. They did it with no receivers.
Yeah, nothing.
They have no receivers. They have no tight end.
They did it with everybody being able to fucking just key in on Saquon.
Yeah.
And basically, beat us.
So go get a receiver. Go get a number one receiver either in the draft or find one in free agency where you can, or steal one in a trade like A.J. Brown. Go get yourself a number one receiver. And I think that the Giants are for real. I actually next year am not going to be as disrespectful for them. Obviously, I was wrong on Saquon. I was wrong on Christian McCaffrey. And I think the Giants are for real. I think next year, fantasy-wise, it'll be interesting to see. You're not mad at taking Daniel Jones as a later, like in a 2-quarterback league.
You say he was top 10?
And if he's your number 2, let's say you got, one of the top 4 in your first couple picks, then I would wait. Let's say in the first round I went Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or something like that. Then all the other good quarterbacks kind of win. I don't know. Is Geno Smith a good quarterback? But Kirk Cousins, some of the other ones are gone. Some of the other ones get taken. Deshaun gets taken. Some of these other quarterbacks get taken. I would wait, and I probably wouldn't draft till the later 7 or 8 round. And then if I got Daniel Jones as my second quarterback, I'm happy with that. Happy with that. He's solid, and he rushes. He runs some touchdowns in. So I think the Giants are for real. This is just they ran up against probably the best team in the league, probably the future Super Bowl champions. And boy, oh boy, did I call it with Mr. Jalen Hurts. I've been telling motherfuckers. I said all year last year, and they all have to kiss the ring now because they come to me and they're like, "Bro, you were right." Because I said all last year, I said Dak Prescott is not for real. And Jalen Hurts is for real. And the Eagles will win the division next year, and they will be a lot better team because of how good Jalen Hurts is. And he has proven me right big time. This Jalen Hurts guy is like, to me, it's like Colin Kaepernick, but it's with a better arm. Yeah. He has a better arm.
He seems to have a little better head on his shoulder. Yeah. Like he understands the game more.
Yeah. And
his dad was a coach.
His dad was a coach, yeah. And do you hear his speeches? Have you heard his Jalen Hurts?
I've heard him talk to the media.
Look up if you have time. Jalen Hurts locker room speeches.
Oh, really?
Because his locker room speeches give you goosebumps. Where it's like, damn, all right, let's fucking go. Oh, yeah. And he, they say he's like the strongest one in the weight room. That he can squat the most. He squats like crazy amounts, and he's like a weight room gym rat where he's always in there fucking working out, and they
just like me.
He impresses the shit out of him, and I don't know. I'm on the Jalen Hurts train, big time. I'm a big fan, and I think they should win the Super Bowl, but it's hard to bet against the man. Moving on.
Third down.
But yeah, the first game on last Sunday before, was Cincinnati at Buffalo. It was a snowy day, and Joe Burrow was bred in the snow, I think, because he has running through his veins not blood, but ice running through his veins. And he came up there and absolutely destroyed Buffalo. Another one that wasn't close. I think Buffalo did come back, and it was like, I think it was 10-14 at one point, and then Cincinnati just absolutely took off after that and just never let Buffalo in the game. I put a little equation over here. Yeah, it was hilarious to me that Buffalo was a 5-point favorite. I was like, Joe Burrow is not fucking. He's definitely not getting beat by 5 points. If he's going to get beat, this is going to be a close game, just like this last championship week was. But I put Burrow equals Brady. I do think that is a fair analogy. I think the way he plays the game is very Brady-esque. He gets rid of the ball. He isn't necessarily as athletic as Josh Allen or even kind of as shifty as Patrick Mahomes, but he will surprisingly, he's more athletic than Brady was. He's faster than Brady was. He'll get you a first down with his legs if he has to, and he's tough as shit. I mean, you saw him get that first down in that Kansas City championship game when he needed it. He rushed for he needed 13. He got 13. He knew where it was. He juked the linebacker. But yeah, I like the way Burrow plays. I like his mentality. He's kind of cocky, but it's kind of a silent cocky. Yeah, and after the game, better get your refunds ready. That was hilarious. They sold all those tickets to the neutral site where Buffalo and Kansas City were going to play the AFC Championship game, and that was the first thing he said in the post office. Better get them refunds ready. It's hilarious. But is Buffalo for real? Actually, after seeing this,
so you didn't finish your equation.
Well, I have a part of it where I think I was wrong. I put Josh Allen equals Peyton Manning, and I think I'm wrong on that. I think a better name for that is Phillip Rivers. I think Josh Allen might actually be Phillip
Dan
Rivers.
Marino.
Yeah, it might be a Dan Marino situation where he just can't ever win, Donovan McNabb or something like that. But I think I don't think he's a Peyton Manning where he will eventually win.
He's got the butthole pucker.
Right. He's got the butthole pucker. And listen, he's kind of a white Lamar Jackson. His arm is good. Lamar Jackson's arm is good, and they can rip, they can throw, they can hit crazy targets. But in the biggest moments, it seems like their arm is what fails them, and then they rely on, I'm just going to run it myself. And then Josh Allen was doing this thing where, just like, Lamar doesn't really complain or ask for flags, but every time Josh Allen was getting hit, he was like, "Where's the flag?" It's like, bro, you've just been running the ball, not running like you're like trying to get down. You're lowering your shoulder. You're trying to run into these guys. What do you think they're going to do? These motherfuckers are going to hit you back, and the refs are eventually going to just go, no, I'm not going to call that because you're not getting down. You're not trying to protect yourself. You're not giving up on the play. You're getting lit the fuck up, and that's what you're asking for. So I don't know if Josh Allen ever gets there. At this point, I can't see him winning a championship. How?
I get that. It sucks because I was really on to Josh Allen this year, but he hasn't shown it, and it's in the big games. It seems.
You know what? And also, I think we're in a fantasy football world where, like, fantasy football wise, he's great.
Yeah,
he's going to continue to be a great fantasy football player.
He's still a top 4 quarterback,
absolutely.
And a lot of that's because he's willing to fucking.
And he does rush. Yeah, he does, and he gets rushing touchdowns a lot. So that's not going to go anywhere. I'm just saying. Think about over the next 5 years, the Bengals, the Chiefs, and now the Jaguars, I have to assume, aren't going anywhere. I could even say Cleveland has the potential with Deshaun Watson to throw their name in the hat, and they could be better than them.
What about the Texans and fucking Bryce Young?
I don't know. I don't know about that there, sir. That's a...
What do you mean, bro?
Well,
we're about to win the fucking Super Bowl next year.
It's going to take some time. We don't need... the other thing that I'm scared about, and a guy at work brought up, and it's a great point. I wouldn't be against it at all. The only problem is that it seems like another stupid... but it's true. Mario Williams and Jadeveon Clowney, that was so upsetting when it happened. It was like, God damn,
both
man.
times.
Can we not just fucking pull the trigger?
Yeah.
And now we're in a number 2 spot where The problem is, I can all but guarantee you that the Chicago Bears, I want to bet as much money as you want on it. They're going to trade that pick.
Yeah.
They're going to get a boatload back from it. And one of these desperate teams, I think it's going to be the Colts. I think the Colts are going to trade the house to go up and get the number 1 pick, and they're going to take Bryce Young from us. And so I think we end up with C.J. Stroud, which isn't bad. Now, next year, Caleb Williams, the Heisman Trophy winner from USC, he's supposed to be the next Mahomes, and he looks incredible. He can sling it all over. He's super athletic. He's 6'2", 6'3". He's a big guy. He seems incredible. I think Caleb Williams is a better prospect than both Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. So, would it not be wise if there's other... I mean, listen, there are other teams that are super desperate for quarterbacks. Look at the entire NFC South. They're blank because they don't have quarterbacks. Tampa Bay is not going to have a quarterback. Carolina, New Orleans, Atlanta, all those teams, Washington, the Jets, the Raiders, maybe the Seattle Seahawks. There's so many teams that I have on there that are so desperate for quarterbacks. What do? Now, if I'm the Houston Texans, maybe I go tell Jimmy Garoppolo, hey, now, Garoppolo's not going to demand $40 million a year. He can't. He's been too injured. He's just not going to get that. So give him $26 million a year for, I don't know, maybe a 2 or 3 year deal. And let's not draft a quarterback at this number 2 spot. Maybe let's trade it for once. You know what I begged in all the other ones too when we had the number 1? Trade the pick. If you don't love one of the guys, trade it and get a whole shitload back. Because you can't get a shitload back.
Trading partner. This seems to be set up to where somebody's going to pull a
trading partners. Somebody's going to call. Field the calls, and if you like it, go for it, and maybe sign one of these other guys. Maybe
and then suck again next year.
Suck with Baker Mayfield. Bring Baker Mayfield in for no money. Suck and get the number 1 pick, and then you get Caleb Williams, and you get a whole boatload of draft pick because we need a lot. Let's be real. The Texans don't need just... It's not just that we need Bryce Young and all of a sudden we're there. Brandon Cooks is going to leave. And so now we have no receivers. We have Damian Pierce, who's a pretty good running back, but we have one offensive lineman, just one, and we're going to sign him to the biggest deal in offensive lineman history. And the only positive is that I think we're going to get DeMeco Ryans as the head coach.
That'd be so awesome.
So I'm into that big time, but other than that, the Texans are not going to win a Super Bowl. And that all stemmed from that Josh Allen I don't see. And you know what? It's not one of the situations where, honestly, with Lamar Jackson, if I'm running an NFL team, I don't want Lamar Jackson because he's not going to get me there. He's not going to get me to where I need to be. Is he a free agent? Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah,
you just think he's going to get signed?
I think he's going to get tagged. I think he's going to get tagged. I think no matter what, Baltimore's going to realize.
So he's not an unrestricted free agent?
Well, they can tag him.
They can just tag him.
They can tag him, yeah. So, and I think they can tag him twice. You know, so you could run into a Kirk Cousins situations like we did with Washington, where they just tag him twice and they're like, we're not going to give you this crazy deal that you're looking for, but we're also not going to suck and not have a quarterback, which is where we would end up because they're too low in the draft, and I don't know if they want to give up draft capital to move up. And also, you got So I think they just end up tagging him. That's my theory.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, in the AFC, I think that one of the things that you saw was, and Brian Daboll used to be the offensive coordinator for Josh Allen, and maybe they were better last year than they were this year. I don't know, but I think that instead of Sean McDermott, I really think he needs like a Mike McDaniel. He needs a different type of mind, a Nick Sirianni, one of these new coaches that can come in. And I don't blame Sean McDermott, but I mean, look at where you are year after year.
Right. And
somebody's
at some point he's going to get to, I mean, because he's been a good coach, but
they just can't. They can't get it done.
Can't seem. How about like a Jim Harbaugh?
Ooh, well, Harbaugh said he's going back to Michigan.
Oh, he did? I thought he wanted to be an NFL coach.
He threw it out there, but I think he's going to go back to Michigan. I think that just because of the Walmart money, I think the Denver Broncos are going to get Sean Payton. And so that doesn't leave a lot and if we get D'Amico Ryans, he's pretty much the only other one out there that people are kind of clamoring for. So I think as far as the big coaches, I think we're not going to see a big change with Buffalo. And Buffalo's not going to get rid of Sean McDermott. It's just my idea. It's like, what's going to help them get over this hump?
Yeah, you gotta somehow you have to bring in somebody that can coach this kid up.
I also feel bad for him because they can't run the ball. And they never have the entire time that he's been there. Devin Singletary is not the answer. And I like this James Cook. I drafted him. I was high on that James Cook kid, and he did end up at the end of the season. He kind of proved me right. It was like, okay, look, he really is a good running back. But is he Derrick Henry? Is he a running back that you can hang your hat on?
There you go, get Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is a free agent. That's a good one. We talked about Cincinnati, Buffalo there slightly. We kind of got in on the game, but Joe Burrow was nasty in this game. Just wheeling and dealing, dominating from beginning to end. Joey Cool, Joey Swag. Fuck yeah!
4th down.
Oh, the Dallas Cowgirls. I just love it. I love that this is what y'all do now. You get into the playoffs and Dak chokes. If anybody who's not Dak Prescott is the quarterback of the Cowboys, they win this game.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even watch it.
Oh, no.
I didn't watch any of this.
He choked like a motherfucker. He absolutely choked.
Good job, Dak.
Yeah, that's what he does. And Brock Purdy, I put...
So he's Tony Romo.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. You're Tony Romo. You're another Dallas great. One day maybe you'll be so good in the booth, and that'll be your next calling. Yeah,
and he's a nice. Tony Romo's a nice guy. I'm sorry, Tony. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
But
saying what it is.
But your butthole puckered every time. And I don't know why you were holding that. I don't know why you were having to hold that extra point. That was back in the day where the backup quarterback had to hold the extra.
That's still the best one.
That's
bro.
the best one. With him sitting there just holding his face mask. Amazing.
All you had to do is hold the ball.
Fuck the Cowboys. You're really missing Amari Cooper in this game. CeeDee Lamb is great, and he had a great game. But when he's your only option, it's like, okay, well, we'll stop him from scoring a touchdown, but he can have this over the middle shit. He can have 12 catches, but and CeeDee Lamb was great, but the Cowboys, man, it is so funny to watch every single time where they get in their own way. They, on paper, they probably should have won this game. Brock Purdy's you don't get to your third quarterback and usually have a lot of success. And the San Francisco team, their defense was just so good, and that's what happened in this game too. Their defense, Dak threw 2 terrible picks. The first one was just god awful. It was like, what the fuck did you see there? Even the defensive back on the sideline was like, that's one of the funny clips. They've been making it memes where he goes, I couldn't believe he threw it. Like, they're all celebrating on the sidelines, and the defensive back's like, can you believe he threw that? He threw it right to me. But that's just how bad Dak Prescott is. Even the last play of the game, bro, what the fuck? They lined up Zeke to snap the ball. So Zeke is hunched over and he's the only one. So they needed a Hail Mary, basically. They needed some miracle play. They needed to go 70 yards. They had to score a touchdown. They were down 12-19. And for whatever reason, they line up Zeke to snap this ball. And so the San Francisco 49ers are they do the smart thing of just we'll drop a couple people back, but how about we just send 2 people to blow? Is Zeke gonna block me from getting to Dak? Are you out of your mind? And they just blew right through Zeke. They put 2 guys down on the line and said, all right, well, one of us will kill Zeke, and then the other one is gonna go kill Dak.
They didn't have any linemen.
They had no linemen. They had everybody. There were tons of receivers, and everybody lined up wide.
I didn't even know that was a legal formation.
It was a trick. It was this trick play, yeah, and there were linemen, but they wind up. It made no sense. I guess they were going to try a screen. I think that was the plan, that they were gonna run a screen, and they were gonna have the linemen that were lined up wide kind of be like these roaming blockers that could go downfield. it didn't work. It got absolutely blown up and immediately stuffed, and the game was over. And Dak choked and did what he did. And I put, is Brock Purdy turning into a pumpkin? Kind of a rude way to talk about what's about to happen in the future, because it wasn't that he turned into a pumpkin. The poor guy got hurt, but in this game, in the Dallas game, it wasn't that I wasn't impressed with him because he didn't turn the ball over, but he didn't really do anything. It was
they're
like
also probably not asking him to do
yeah,
a
they're
whole
not.
lot.
They weren't. They were running the ball a lot, and they weren't putting it in his hands. And Kyle Shanahan did the smart thing, but I put, is Brock Purdy turning into a pumpkin? Question mark. And then, boy, is that fucked up. Let's get to it.
Fifth down.
San Francisco at Philadelphia. That was Sunday. That was the NFC Championship game. That was the early game. Philadelphia was a 2.5 point favorite, and I said that they would win convincingly. And boy, was I right. Now, I did not know what was going to happen was that on the first drive, that was the very first drive for San Francisco, Brock Purdy was going to get his arm. He tore it. Did you see that? He tore his UCL. So that's what the guys that have to have Tommy John surgery. It's very rare to have this injury in for the NFL. They said that it really hasn't happened many times. There are guys that get it injured, but not where they tear it.
But he
completely.
got hit though, right?
Yeah, he got hit on the arm. So as he was pulling it up to throw, it got hit. So he didn't actually throw it at all. It became a fumble. It became a big, huge play because it then was turned into a fumble, and the Eagles recovered it. But his arm got ripped back, and it just, you can see why it makes sense that that's what happened, that it tore that, and when you see how far his arm got ripped back. And man, you feel for him. This kid is at a magical run. I think, in my mind, this lines up perfectly for Kyle Shanahan to say, look, let's move on from Trey Lance because I know it's only been 2 years and you really have only got 2 games out of him in 2 years, but he's injured. Can you count on this being your franchise quarterback? I don't know. They mortgaged their future on him because they traded 3 first-round picks for him. But now you have this kid, this Brock Purdy kid, who played really good. And he can bounce back from this injury, and he can be okay. And he can come back, and you're going to get – you have him on – he's made –
Trade Trey Lance.
Trade Trey Lance. Go get the greatest of all time. Go get Tom Brady
we talked
on a veteran minimum. Have him come in while Brock Purdy's healing up his elbow. Perfect. Don't even have to worry about how quickly we can get Brock Purdy back. We'll just let you heal up completely as you sit in a quarterback room with the greatest of all time and let him train you to where you can take over this team. Listen, Tom Brady's the San Francisco 49ers quarterbacks. We're talking about some Peyton Manning, Denver Broncos shit. All you have to do is not lose the game and let Nick Bosa and this defense go off. I will say, though, in this game, you saw how good of an offensive line that Philadelphia has. Oh, yeah. And they pretty much shut down Nick Bosa.
Wow. Where's this guy? He's a freak, bro.
Who, Nick Bosa?
Yeah, he just looks different.
He does, but I'm telling you, in this game, they took him out of the game. They didn't even let him. They didn't let.
Goes to show you what a good offensive line
good
can
offensive
do,
line.
I guess.
And Lane Johnson, who apparently right tackle for them, has a torn groin and played through it. That's insane.
Jesus.
Insane. And he's going to play in the Super Bowl too. You're not going to be able to stop that monster either. But yeah, it was a bummer of a game just because Brock Purdy going. They had Christian McCaffrey in there playing quarterback at one point.
Yes,
Josh Johnson came in and he looked terrible. He fumbled a perfect snap right to his hands and he fumbled it. You could tell he was just nervous and he got knocked. He got thrown out the club. Somebody grabbed him and threw him to the. I think it got a flag on it. I don't think it fucking mattered. They threw the flag and the guys were like, "Yeah, whatever. You can throw a flag if you want. He's dead. Look at him. He's dead on the ground. I killed him." But he got absolutely killed and concussion protocol. He went out. So the game was a wrap pretty much from the very beginning, and Philadelphia stomped them out. 31-7. I got that right. But my man Swaggy Joey, you know, I don't know. Was it a? Damn it! Damn it, Joe Burrow. No, you know, was it a Joe Burrow failing thing? I think actually Joe Burrow had some incredible plays. If you see some of these throws, the throw to Jamar Chase that he made that hit him in the helmet, holy shit, that was 40 yards down the field. You know, Joe Burrow was playing his ass off, but can we get an offensive line that stays healthy and can protect this guy? Jesus Christ. He's getting blown up every single time. He can't stay upright. Every single time he's getting fucking killed. And I think this is the matchup for the next couple of years. I think this Cincinnati, Kansas City, I think they're the two best teams in the AFC. It's scary too because they lost Tyreek Hill and you thought, okay, well, maybe they'll take a step back. They're back in the Super Bowl. Fifth straight AFC championship game. If they win this Super Bowl, will you be surprised? No. Will I be surprised? No. I mean, it's very possible that that's what happens. And I think Joe Burrow is the next Brady, but this is a bad setback because, I mean, by Brady's third year, he had been to 2 Super Bowls. I mean,
I think he maybe had. Well, and also Brady took like a 10-year gap.
There was a gap in the middle. So. Yeah. And are you going to play till you're 46? Yeah. I'll say this: there is not going to be another quarterback play till he's 46 and play well the way that Brady has. It's not going to happen. It's not.
It's the whole who's the next Michael Jordan thing. You're like, just let him be Brady, let him be Burrow. And
you said it wrong. You mean the next LeBron James. There will be no other LeBron James either. That's a very good point.
Same argument.
Well, I could argue that there has been some Michael Jordans, but, you know, okay. But Patrick Mahomes, you know,
nobody's going to change the game the way Michael Jordan did, and not just the game of basketball. Yeah, the whole fashion, fucking thing, the
cute
whole
little
deal.
Shoes. Fuck out of here.
I got Kyrie's though.
Mentally,
I got Kyrie's.
Mentally weak. Fucking
the last
Michael Jordan.
Pair. They don't have him anymore apparently because he's not afraid to.
Really? They did away with him?
I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
Somebody said that I think Nike dropped him. After he posted that shit about that movie or whatever.
Oh, I was like, from Flat Earth? That's nuts.
No. He came out and said, they must have got to him like, bro, you can't be talking about that. It hurts the children. The children, that's what they said about that. The children were starting to believe that the earth was flat because Kyrie was saying it. And then he was like, that's damaging to the children.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, damaging to the children.
But there was also, I just want to say, there was some really shitty calls in this Bengals-Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Some really bad calls against the Bengals that really hurt them, that were like obvious. Like, that's why people were like, oh, this was rigged, because it seemed like they were trying to help the Chiefs win. And it did seem like they were in favor of the Chiefs in this game. Like, the Zach Taylor, the Bengals coach, you can see him at one point in the game where he like goes over and he's just pleading. He's like, guys. Like, he's standing in the middle of the refs and he's like, I can't, like, you can't keep doing this to me. Like, y'all have fucked me for now the third time in a row. Like, on this same drive, there was a holding call that they called on Eli Apple that was so obviously not holding, and they sacked Patrick Mahomes on the play. It was going to be 4th down, and they gave it to him, and they gave him 1st down. It was like, bro, like, you're killing us. Like, why? There was some really bad refereeing in that Kansas City game, but I don't have anything.
Maybe it was good refereeing.
No, and I mean the last play. Like, there were guys at work saying, I can't believe they called that roughing the passer on the last play.
Well, there's been, I mean, like, I haven't looked too far into it, but
did you see that
the NFL is kind of rigged? Like, it's almost becoming like the WWE.
Yeah, but my only pushback on that is, how do you make it this good of a game?
Well, apparently by the refs. Well, because you only.
But it was so good.
I have a hard time with this because I've loved sports for so long. But I do think that if you were going to script a sport, the NFL would be the easiest one to script, because it's each play's designed. You could choreograph. You could even practice this shit throughout the fucking week. And then still,
you can't plan Julian Edelman scooping the ball off the ground.
Whoa. I am not saying this has been going on forever. I'm saying it's starting to look like it. Or they're starting to... actually, I'm not even saying that it's even happening.
The Jamar Chase catch where he
because you would only have to script like one or two plays. Everything else could be fucking real.
Well, what they say is when they say rigged is like where you see these calls against the Bengals where you're like, oh well, obviously you want the Chiefs to win. Now, I'm saying that as a Bengals enthusiast. If I was a Chiefs fan, I might be like, "Fuck yeah!"
Right, but
you're goddamn right that was holding.
This is why I think it's plausible because if it involves money and it involves gambling, they will definitely find a way to, or it's very possible to find a way to make it.
I don't know. It's also a very fast game. It would be hard to, in the moment, know this is the best thing to do at this moment.
You would only have to have a handful of guys in the league that even fucking knew about it.
Now, there's
namely the quarterbacks.
0% chance that a player is in on the fix. I would say the only way that this is plausible is that the refs are in on the fix. The players, there's 0% chance because all of those guys are going full tilt. They are
all of them.
All of them.
I'm just saying. So how would you do it? I think I agree with you. All of the top players couldn't know.
You told Josh Allen.
That's what I'm saying. You couldn't have the top players. You'd have to have somebody that plays that doesn't make the fucking money. You'd have to get them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's possible.
It's tough.
It's tough for me because
in the Cincinnati game,
I love sports, and I've always loved sports, and I'm not saying that it's happening. I'm saying it's being talked about. It was Trevor Lawrence. He's like, they couldn't have scripted any better.
Oh, well, that's
we're taking it out of context.
That's kind of a phrase. I don't know. Like in this Cincinnati game, I want to blame it. I get mad and I'm like, oh, those fucking calls. That's what lost the game. But also, like I said, Joe Burrow got fucking leveled every single time. Like he was running for his life. They were on the backup offensive line. Like they had the third string offensive line in there. So, it didn't go. There was a lot that Cincinnati could have done better. Kansas City, bro, the rope that he throws to Marquez Valdez-Scantling on one, he throws it and then has to hop because he can't put any pressure on his right leg, but he throws a fucking dart to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a dog. He's a dog. And it's why I can't outright just say the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl because you never know. Bro, we were up 24-0 on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Texans were. Wasn't it? 24?
Something like that.
24-0. And Kansas City ended up winning that game 40-something to 24 because fucking Patrick Mahomes was like, we're going nuclear now, and he can do it at any moment, and he can do it with anybody. He was throwing it. He threw to 10 different receivers yesterday or Sunday. So very impressive stuff. Philly and Kansas City, 2 number 1 seeds. We got the Andy Reid Bowl, where Andy Reid is going to play his old team. We have the Kelsey Bowl, where Travis and Jason Kelsey will now be playing against each other for a Super Bowl. It should be a great game. I'm pretty hyped. I think it's going to be a great game.
I'm not. I don't give a shit.
How dare you? You're a liar.
I'll be working.
Oh, what? That's going to suck. Usually Super Bowl sucks.
I work Sundays. The only people that got Sundays off are the people that get every Sunday off.
Yeah, that's true. I'm one of those. I'm a Sunday offer. Well, let's get into a little bit of overtime. Linus Ullmark is my number 1 goalie. I think he's one of the best goalies in the league.
Who's he play for? Kraken? I don't know. I've never heard of him.
Linus Ullmark. Let me see. Linus.
Probably like the Kraken or
LA. Let me see. Nathan McKinnon He's my number one pick.
Well,
he's
he's Colorado,
right?
He's been hurt though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. But when he plays, he scores a lot of points.
Yeah, he's
Another
awesome.
one of my really good guys is this Alex DeBrincat. Alex DeBrincat
He used to
on
be
the
a
Senators.
fucking, he used to
Linus
be a Chicago
Ullmark is on the
Blackhawk.
Bruins. He's on the Boston Bruins.
Oh.
You know what's good?
They're
is
really good.
It is teaching me the team names a little bit, even though I didn't prove it with Linus Ullmark. I'm having a hard time, but I didn't know the Ottawa Senators. I didn't know that was a team, but now I know that name because that's where Alex Brinicat is on, and it's funny. I'm like somebody who. It's really annoying when they're good at fantasy football because they go on and they look at the people that are just scoring high. I don't know if these people are well known at all, but I just go on and I look at the top scorers. I go into the waiver wire. I find the people that are in the top 10 and I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to swap you out with one of my guys who's in the lower.
I've never even played fantasy hockey.
It's pretty silly, but yeah, I'm doing pretty good. 10 and 5. Never watched hockey. That's my team name. But yeah, last thing I want to talk about, just because I did a whole beautiful mind thing here where I was playing out where the empty quarterback position is going to be, and I think there's some of these that are locked in, and those are the ones that that Dannon can see that are written in. The other ones I have left blank. We have talked about it already. The entire NFC South is going to be open. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, those guys are free agents. I don't think they have anybody. I think Carolina has. They might actually be the person that trades with Chicago to go get their quarterback because they need it so desperately. And they just hired Frank Reich as their head coach, so it's very likely that Frank Reich is like, all right, let me go get somebody and build with him. Tampa Bay, the rumor is that they're going to give Jimmy Garoppolo a bigger deal than anybody else would. And I think that's smart just to kind of bring in a Brady-esque quarterback. Yeah, and just have him kind of keep going. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, I think those guys are going to go somewhere, but I wouldn't feel like – I think that's what happens is like Brady goes somewhere, Derek Carr goes somewhere, Jimmy Garoppolo goes somewhere, and those are the big names that move. And then it's like the rest of these guys are kind of like, all right, well, I guess we'll take Sam
surprised
Darnold.
if Baker went back to L.A. the way his relationship with McVay.
Maybe if he thinks that being a backup there to Matt Stafford, and then if Stafford gets hurt, maybe that's a good place for me to step in. Maybe.
Is anybody going to give him fucking who wants you?
Let me count here. So 1, 2. I'm going to leave out Indianapolis and Houston just because I think I'm going to leave out one team and Houston because I do think Houston drafts a quarterback. I picked Indianapolis as being my team that's going to trade up to draft a quarterback. But then the rest of these teams, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so 8. 8 teams that are in desperate need for a starting quarterback. The Las Vegas Raiders are going to cut Derek Carr 3 days before the Super Bowl because they will save $27 million if they do. So he will be a free agent. Ryan Tannehill is not a free agent, but there is rumor that they would look to move off of him and possibly trade him. So that's an interesting one too. Daniel Jones is an unrestricted free agent. However, everyone assumes they are going to give him a longer deal and probably tag him on the Giants from the way that he played this year. Taylor Heineke is a free agent. Geno Smith is a free agent. Geno Smith actually might get...
He's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid, and it could be by Seattle. It might be. They could tag him if they want, but it also could be one of these NFC South teams. One of these teams could definitely pay Geno Smith.
I don't see how Seattle could let him go after that.
They'd probably tag him. If he does threaten to go somewhere else and not take a deal that they try to offer him, they probably would just say, fuck it. Here, we're going to tag you. We got to keep you. But I'm with you. Yeah, I think there's also some interesting teams like what does Green Bay do? Do they love Jordan Love? But
didn't he sign a longer contract?
Who?
Rodgers.
Yeah, they did. But now they're talking about possibly trading him.
Oh.
I think the Cowboys are going to trade for him. I think that from what
somebody should.
Jerry Jones said that he's willing to make it. I didn't star next to Dak Prescott because I thought he's got to be the quarterback, but I'm not so sure anymore. I think that this loss was bad enough that I think Jerry Jones might just say, fuck it. I'm fucking getting rid of you, and I'm going to go get Aaron Rodgers, and we're going to pay him. Aaron Rodgers makes the most money. He's the highest cap is. But if there's somebody that can swallow that and can take on that burden, it might be the Cowboys. They'll lose some. Well, I don't know. But Aaron Rodgers might get traded. The Detroit Lions are a top 5 pick. What do they do with Jared Goff? Are they going to pick a quarterback in the top 5? Are they going to stick with Jared Goff? I think they stick with Jared Goff. Yeah. He's still under contract. I think they do
pretty well.
Do the New England Patriots? Are they sticking with Mac Jones or
probably?
Now Tom Brady is the first big puzzle piece. Because if Tom Brady decides to retire, now a lot of these teams that thought maybe we're just a quarterback away and we can talk Tom Brady into coming here, they're like, oh, fuck. Like, if you're Las Vegas, you're like, that was. I have to assume that's Las Vegas's plan. That's got to be Josh McDaniels' plan. Yeah. I'm going to get Brady in here, and we're going to go win a championship. I don't want that to be what he does. I want him to go to San Francisco 49ers, or I even want him to go to Miami, but they just confirmed that they're going to stick with Tua. So there is no question mark there. Miami said we are sticking with Tua. New England hasn't made that same claim,
Tua needs to think about Tua.
For real. But maybe New England tells Mac Jones, hey, you're going to sit in the quarterback room with Tom Brady, and we're going to win with him again. What if he goes back to the New England?
I don't think he does.
Woo!
I don't think he does.
That's a crazy story, though. Let me tell you. If he does go back to New England and they win a championship, holy fucking ball sack, will that be the greatest fucking story in the history of the NFL. It also would be damn near impossible since I named...
If you were Brady, where would you go?
San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And also, he's from there.
As I know, that's his
where he wanted to go.
Team. That's where he wants to go.
The problem is that the Shanahan told him no before when he wanted to go there with Tampa Bay. Now, it was different because Shanahan had just been to a Super Bowl and thought Jimmy G maybe isn't my guy, but he also then traded for Trey Lance, and he was like, no, Trey Lance is going to be our guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know where San Francisco's head's at. They have an opportunity to get Brady for nothing, too. For nothing. You don't have to pay him anything. You don't have to trade for him. You can literally just pick him up as a veteran minimum and go win Peyton Manning, Denver Broncos style. So it got some interesting ones there. So how many did I write down there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to count and leave that one off. 6. And then 7 is Derek Carr. I'm not going to put Tannenhill in that group, but I'm going to say that Derek Carr is a free agent. So there's 7. And I mean, is Taylor Heineke a starting quarterback?
And the only ones that I would even... Brady, Geno, and maybe Garoppolo.
And Derek Carr's going to get a chance. I mean, I might not like him. But I'm with you. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Wherever he goes, I ain't doing it. You ain't going to catch me slipping on some Raider shit again. Mm-hmm. But he will get an opportunity.
He will,
and he'll be a starter.
He's probably the 4th best quarterback on that list.
I'd say it's probably Washington.
Yeah, if I had to guess, right.
He's probably a Washington Commander.
Smells right. And honestly, they have a good defense, and so
it's not a bad team.
All you got to do with Carr is you just got to simplify it. I think.
Yeah.
You can't have him making a bunch of fucking decisions.
He needs a running game because
he definitely needs a running game.
It can't be him.
No. But
the Jets are another
gonna fuck something up.
The Jets are an interesting team too. What do they do with Zach Wilson? That's another great one for Brady. I mean, honestly, Brady goes there with a bunch of young talent around him. It's not a bad look. They are very close to being a good team. So if Garoppolo goes to the Jets, I think that's a good move. But they also could be in the sweep. Now they just traded a bunch of picks for Zach Wilson too. Yeah. So it's not like they can trade. Yeah. It's not like
they can't trade. They can't trade up in the draft.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting quarterback carousel. I'm excited for the off season. I'm excited for us to get into some. Now these podcasts are where we're going to go off the rails.
Okay,
now in the summer, we'll get into our conspiracy theories. Can't believe we didn't. I can't believe we didn't do any conspiracy theories today. But,
well,
you know,
hey, the Earth is flat. We'll start there. We'll tease it.
That's the first one. That's the first. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Trust me, fire.
That's where it all starts.
I'm gonna let fiery Dannon go, and this microphone's gonna catch a flame.
Bro, it's gonna be the best. These are gonna be fun.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's great to have you back, man. The champ.
Who's your pick in the Super Bowl?
Oh, man.
Do you even know what the spread is? You said 2.5
points. Yeah, two for Philly. Damn.
I'll take Philly.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Philly, but with that hesitant question mark behind it, because fucking Kansas City's got that guy, and it should be a great game. I think 2 points is just enough. I think it is down to a field goal. I think it's a close game. But yeah,
I do still watch football, by the way.
I know he does. He just doesn't.
I just don't want to like it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't like it as much as I used to.
Well, and it does take time. It's a big, like, Sunday was.
I didn't watch any of these games. I catch glimpses on the TV at work. I mean, and I do work Sundays.
And Sunday, I mean, I spend hours watching these games on Sunday. So it's a time.
Yeah,
it's a time
I got other things that I'm into now that
Yeah.
Just don't need it.
Well, we're glad to have him back.
Sports at the end of the day.
We're glad to have him back. Love you and fuck you.
Yay!
Love him, fuck you.
Not you, but the algorithm.
No, fuck the algorithm and fuck you.